Good day and welcome to WDW and Beyond's World News. I'm your host Brian. Thanks for allowing us this time with you. Today on World News, award season is in full swing and Disney has already begun bringing home the gold. Also, the Magic Kingdom returns to regular programming and one of Walt Disney World's deluxe resorts celebrates their Pearl anniversary. Rob is back from his Christmas vacation with exciting news from Disney Studios and a big start to the 2018 award season. Rob, what news do you have from the studios this week?
Hey Brian, the new year brings a special sneak peek of A Wrinkle in Time to Disney parks. It's officially 2018 and the excitement is building for this spring's release of Disney's epic adventure, A Wrinkle in Time. Very soon, guests visiting Disney parks will be able to preview scenes from the new film and sneak peeks planned for Disneyland and Walt Disney World resorts. At Disney's California Adventure Park, the short preview of A Wrinkle in Time will be presented in 3D with special in-theater effects at the Sunset Showcase Theater, while guests at Disney Hollywood Studios will get to see this advanced look at clips from the film as part of the Walt Disney Presents attraction. Disney's A Wrinkle in Time, based on a timeless classic, which takes audiences across dimensions of time and space, examining the nature of darkness versus light and ultimately the triumph of love. Through one girl's transformation journey, led by three celestial guides, we discover the strength comes from embracing one's individuality and that the best way to triumph over fear is to travel by one's own light. Wrinkle in Time stars Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, and Mindy Kaling, who portray Mrs. Which, Mrs. Whatsit, and Mrs. Who. Be a warrior and catch a sneak peek along with a display of costumes used in the production of this film for a limited time starting February 9th at the Disney parks. In other news, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2 teaser trailer released. Disney released a brand new teaser for the much anticipated Wreck-It Ralph sequel, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, to ring in 2018. The teaser is short and doesn't reveal very much other than a hint of Ralph breaking into 2018 and unwittingly leaving 2017 in disorder behind him. J.C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman are back to voice Ralph and Vanellope von Schweetz. The setting takes place 6 years after the events of the first film. In the sequel, Ralph and Vanellope are good friends and together they discover a Wi-Fi router in their arcade which leads them to new adventures going far beyond their video game world. As previously revealed at D23, Ralph will meet just about every Disney princess, as well as other popular characters including Marvel and Lucasfilm's franchises. Jane Lynch and Jack McBrayer are also coming back to reprise their roles. Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet is set to smash into theaters on November 21st, 2018. In other news, Maleficent 2 has set to be April filming start date, with Angelina Jolie returning as the movie's namesake. It was previously reported that Maleficent sequel could begin production by the first quarter of the new year, so the project appears to be moving along as expected. Jolie has expressed great excitement for the script written by Linda Wolverton, who also penned the first Maleficent, and Spectre co-writer Jez Butterworth, promising Maleficent 2 to be a really strong sequel. And our last news tonight for the movies and news and Hollywood news is Coco wins the Best Animated Film at the Golden Globes. The Land of the Dead was celebrating Sunday night as Pixar's Coco won the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film for the 75th Annual Award Ceremony in Los Angeles. Director Lee Unkrich thanked the incredible people of Mexico and their beautiful traditions of Dia del Muertos in his acceptance speech Sunday night. He also thanked the teams of Disney and Pixar for trusting us to tell this unique story and empowering all of us to tell it with respect and the dignity that it deserved. Thank you to our loved ones who are no longer with us, who in great ways and small ways paved the way for us to be the people we are today, Unkrich added. We love you, we honor you, and you inspire us. Coco is inspired by a Mexican holiday of Dia de Muertos, and Coco stars newcomer Anthony Gonzalez as the 12-year-old Mexican boy who confronts his family's ancestral ban on music. That does it for us, and for me. Brian, back to you.
Rob, thanks for the update. It'll be exciting to see how many awards they bring home at the end of the season. Now, Mike has an exciting announcement from Magic Kingdom Park on a return to a regular schedule and a few Epcot Festival updates.
Thanks, Brian. The big news is the 25th Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival will kick off spring at Walt Disney World Resort February 28th and continue all the way through May 28, 2018 with seasonal fun for all. What began in 1994 as a 38-day celebration of Disney-style gardens and topiaries has grown over the years to a 90-day spring extravaganza with something for every generation. Highlights include new and creative dishes at 15 outdoor kitchens encircling the World Showcase Promenade, A plethora of Disney character topiaries, including classic character favorites Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and many others, will play a starring festival role. Also returning this year, Belle will be featured in France along with Beast, Snow White in Germany with the Seven Dwarfs, and Anna and Elsa in Norway. A brand new Future World interactive garden and revved-up Road to Florida 500 garden featuring new games and play challenges will set the place for family festival fun. The new interactive area in Future World will feature a play maze, a sensory garden, an activity zone, and a covered seating area. Also, the popular Garden Rocks concert series will make hit makers of the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s on the American Gardens Theater stage. 3 evening concerts each Friday through Monday present musicians that span multiple genres, and the Garden Rocks dining packages will also be available on select days at a number of Epcot restaurants. And keeping with the festival announcements, the full menus for the Epcot International Festival of the Arts has been released. That begins on January 12th, and here's a sampling of some of the menus. The deconstructed dish will feature an atypical BLT with crispy pork belly, tomato jam, and a soft poached egg. The irregular Reuben featuring shredded corned beef, Thousand Island dressing, pickled red cabbage, and a rye curl. Cuisine Classique will feature red wine braised short rib with parsnip puree, broccolini, baby tomatoes, and aged balsamic. Another kiosk called the Artist Table will feature a roasted pork roulade with a butternut squash puree, marbled potatoes, and baby carrots, with a red wine sauce featuring Melissa's produce. And perhaps one of the favorites will be the Decadent Delights, featuring a white chocolate and purple sweet potato mousse, salted caramel and maple meringue with coconut, as well as a s'mores tart consisting of house smoked buttermilk chocolate cake with chocolate mousse, toasted marshmallow meringue, graham cracker dust, and malted milk chocolate sauce. Other featured stops will be in Italy, Morocco, France, China, and the United States. And a reminder, this festival runs from January 12th through February 19th. In our final bit of park news, we can all start asking that age-old question again of what time is the 3 o'clock parade. As of January 1st, 2018, the Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade has moved back to its rightful 3 p.m. start. In August of 2017, the parade moved to 2 p.m. daily to better accommodate Magic Kingdom hard-ticket event crowds who enter the park at 4 p.m. around the same time guests would be leaving after viewing the parade if it were at 3 p.m. So that's what's going on in the parks this week. Back to you, Brian.
Mike, thanks for those updates. Be sure to tune in during those events, and we will have live broadcasts from both of them. Now, this week's flash briefing. Walt Disney World Resort will be celebrating the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa's Pearl Anniversary with a special gala. On June 30th, 2018, guests will be invited to celebrate 30 years of Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa at the Grand Floridian Resort 30th Anniversary Gala. This ticketed event begins at 7 p.m. and includes live entertainment, Epicurean delights from Grand Floridian restaurants of the past and present, open cocktail bar, and open seating at tables for up to 10 guests. It will be hosted inside of the Grand Floridian's Convention Center. The price per person, $195.74, including tax. Reservations for this event can be booked now by calling 407-WDW-DINE. Our last bit of news, Buena Vista Drive entrance to Hollywood Studios will be rerouted later this month. To accommodate continuing construction and road work in the Disney Hollywood Studios parking lot, a new temporary road and auto plaza will welcome guests from Buena Vista Drive into the park beginning January 18th. Guests driving in should be aware of lane shifts as early as Monday, January 8th, to prepare for the debut of the new auto plaza. The Walt Disney World Drive entrance to Hollywood Studios will remain unaffected for now. Now, Mike is back this week after scouring the internet for unique Disney items for this week's edition of Disney's Hidden Treasures You Never Knew You Wanted. What did you uncover for us this week, Mike?
Thanks again, Brian. We found a really, really exciting item on eBay this week, and I'm totally serious. This one, I saw this, and I was like, all right, can I get this? The headline reads, Mercury astronauts' autographs obtained at Walt Disney World in 1974. With a secondary headline, Mercury astronaut signatures obtained at Top of the World Lounge in Disney's Contemporary. The seller, who I have permission to mention, is Gary, Gary 97GT, and his description reads as follows. One-of-a-kind and unique signatures at a time when space travel and Walt Disney made history. These signatures are from May 18, 1974, obtained on the 15th floor of the Walt Disney World Contemporary Resort Hotel in Florida at the Top of the World Dinner Theater Restaurant, 9:30 p.m. seating. The date was May 18, 1974, and the astronauts had been having dinner at an adjacent table from my family's table. So my brother and I went over to meet them after they finished their dinner. We were 10 and 11 years old at the time. John Glenn and the other astronauts graciously talked to us and signed 2 sets of autographs for us. Some interesting things here. The Walt Disney Company proudly proclaimed that Space Mountain took full advantage of knowledge gained during the manned and unmanned space probes conducted by NASA. Former astronaut Gordon Cooper, commander of Mercury 9 and Gemini 5, became a member of the Disney team and provided personal consultation to help ensure the authenticity of Space Mountain. He saw Space Mountain as, and I quote, an attempt to give people the most realistic feeling of what they might encounter in space without actually taking a real space flight. As we gain new knowledge and insight concerning space, Space Mountain will be improved upon in true Disney fashion. Space Mountain, of course, was the first indoor roller coaster where riders were in total darkness for the length of the ride, so they couldn't tell where the drops or turns would occur. It was also the first thrill ride that was controlled by computers to maintain safety. The inaugural flight on Space Mountain was taken by astronauts Jim Irwin, Gordon Cooper, and Scott Carpenter at the grand opening of Space Mountain in January 1975. So these signatures are on the back of the dinner pass for the Top of the World Lounge, as well as another set of lined notebook paper. The asking price, $6,500. So that's the item for this week. Something really interesting, probably close to one of a kind, I'm sure. And back to you, Brian.
Mike, thank you, sir. Now, to close this edition of WDW and Beyond's World News, Mike has the winner of WDW and Beyond's Fantasy 2017 football season. Mike, who won the big trophy?
Well, thank you, Brian. Congratulations go out to the inaugural WDW and Beyond Fantasy Football Champion, the Southern Chicks. The Chicks trounced Brian's team Stinks in the championship game by a final tally of 113.66 to 77.64 behind the play of running backs Todd Gurley and Carlos Hyde, quarterback Tom Brady, and kicker Steven Gostkowski. The top 6 teams in the leagues this year were, in 6th, the Disney Mermaid. 5th place went to Beauty and the Beast Mode. In 4th was Woody's Wranglers. 3rd place was Uzma Kappa. 2nd place was captured by Brian's team Stinks. And once again, your champion, the Southern Chicks. Thanks to everyone who participated this season, and we'll be back for the 2018 season next fall. Back to you, Brian.
Mike, thank you. Now be sure to tune in next football season to see if the Southern Chicks can hold on to their title. That'll do it for this week's edition of WDW and Beyond's World News. I'm your host, Brian. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on all of your favorite social media platforms, and leave a review on iTunes. The more that we hear from you, the more that we can give you what you want. Don't forget to check out our website at wdw, the letter N, beyond.com.